today's video, we are going to be breaking down this interview that was thrown on Twitter. It's basically an 8-minute breakdown on what we can expect in NHL 24. A little bit anyway, just a little taste. But I will say, it is confirmed, in my opinion, by what I've seen in this 8-minute video, who we will see on the front cover of NHL 24. Regardless, let's hop into the video. I am always optimistic for new games, regardless of the little that we hear. A lot of people give up on the franchise, they move on. I just enjoy video games too much. I'm just naturally hopeful. I'm naturally optimistic that we'll just see a better game. So in NHL 24, I'm really hoping we'll see a better game. I like the NHL 23, but it still had a lot of flaws. They are behind the game in many ways. I know that's kind of a weird term, behind the game, but as far as crossplay goes, as far as making the community interact seamlessly goes, the EA squad that makes NHL is so behind. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go over the interview, basically touch on all the things that I feel are important that we may or may not see in NHL 24, all the important things that they talk about that I feel are important at least. We're gonna talk about those things, we're gonna break them down. I will link the video below, or you just wanna watch along with me, that works too. We're gonna rip this video apart. We're gonna talk about the good, and we're gonna talk about the bad of what we can expect in NHL 24.
Hey everyone, I'm Clappy, EA Sports NHL Community Manager.
Hi, I'm Mike Engelhardt, Creative Director on the NHL Series.
And I'm Chris Haluk. I'm the Senior Producer on the NHL Series.
All right, we're going to pause right there for a moment. So Mike Engelhardt, who is the Creative Director of the NHL Series, he has been with the NHL Series now for just 2 years. And I will say, nothing against Mike here. I'm sure he's doing the best he can with what he has for the product of NHL. But throughout this interview, if you do watch it from start to finish, he doesn't have a whole lot of energy regarding the game. I'll be honest with you. At the same time, he is constantly talking about, well, just he mentions it twice, and it just really stands out to me as somebody who is hopeful for the game, that he has been with the series for only 2 years. So the way he is saying it just kind of makes me feel like there's a lot to fix in the game. He is fully aware of that, but he's only been with the company for 2 years. He can only do so much. That's the way I take that. And I actually agree with that. You know, you can only do so much in that small amount of time. For all the hate NHL gets, these are probably the men that are seeing that hate and doing their best to fix it year after year, but they're just trying to put out fires constantly. That's all I'll say from there. You can take it or leave it. That's just what I take from Mike.
And I'm Chris Haluk. I'm the Senior Producer.
He has been with the company for just over a year as well. So these guys have not been working together very long. They are relatively new to this franchise. So when they came in, I can imagine all the hate they saw. They're like, all right, the amount of fires they're trying to put out from last year to this year, I can imagine are very substantial. So regardless, let's continue forward with the video.
The reason why we're here together today is to talk about kind of our multi-year strategy and what that means. And we've got 3 core pillars that we're going to be talking through. Community obsession being number 1, number 2, social connection, and number 3, gameplay innovation.
Yeah, so when we talk about community obsessed or community obsession, it's really about putting our players at the center, at the forefront of every conversation. And when it comes to looking back at the past, like NHL 23, we know it didn't live up to your expectations. We recognize that, and that's something we definitely are going to try and course correct with NHL 24. There's a lot of different feedback that comes through the community, and you collect a lot of it, and I read a lot of it online. And you know, while we can't answer absolutely everything you guys send to us, just know that we're reading them, we're seeing them, and we're using them to help plot the future with where we're going with the franchise.
Whether it's through videos, they're very clearly seeing all the hate that the game gets. It gets a lot more hate than it does love. They're seeing it, okay? I think what they're trying to do, and you'll see as they continue forward in the conversation here, that there will be a Discord that they're starting after the reveal, and that's going to allow more actual interactions. Let's hope anyway, because I find I'm putting out videos, I'm putting out tweets, many other people are as well, with zero feedback. And on top of that zero feedback, zero change to what people are complaining about. So many changes need to get done. We talked about it in even my past 2 videos, and we're just hoping that we can see some of these changes in NHL 24.
As of this week, players are free to register for our community playtesting program, which is where we put our game out in the wild. This is where we allow players to get hands-on with everything in our product. And specifically this year, I know that we're focused on HUT and World of Chell being our 2 premier modes that we obviously want to get feedback on. Providing an opportunity for our players to know what we're fixing and what we're changing, and that their feedback is being heard. I think that's one really important thing that we need to make sure that we're addressing as we're talking today.
The big thing we're doing this year is opening up an official EA Sports NHL Discord channel, and that'll be coming after reveal. So that's the place where you can expect, more one-on-one conversation, get your questions answered, hear about the news.
This Discord is going to allow one-on-one interactions with the actual developers and community managers. Will we get that? I don't know, but I'm going to be chiming in there, and I'm sure many of you will be as well.
We're working to better understand what the biggest asks are, like what the community wants, and then how can we get that into our product and into our game.
So with GM Connected, that's something we haven't publicly addressed for a while now, but we know everyone requests it, so how do we get to a connected franchise mode?
Well, first of all, I'm glad we got the G word out in the open and on the table. So, we haven't been here that long. Like, for the time that we've been here, we've been exploring numerous different ways to try to figure out how to get this mode revitalized, alive, and bring it back into the franchise. The one challenge, though, when we look back at what GM Connected was when it first came out, is it was a very big mode. And so trying to actually tackle this thing in a single year, it's really tough for us to do. So it's not something we know we can nail in a single cycle the way it was created in the past. If we twist away from the G word and talk about it in a different way, connected franchise is the way we're starting to think about this experience, and modernizing it, changing it around, and figuring out again what those expectations are, and figuring out what are the requirements, what are the things people really want to see in this mode so we reimagine it correctly. We're looking at different things too, like multi-year development paths, which give us a chance to tackle bigger things. It won't be in 24, but we're going to continue talking about it. This is sort of opening the conversation.
Unfortunately, GM Connected will not be in NHL 24. They're talking about it in a different way as well. They go from GM Connected, then talking about franchise connected. I don't know what he's referring to as that. That just sounds like some table talk they've had. Maybe they've discussed a future mode that we can expect down the line, but it is confirmed that NHL 24 unfortunately will not have GM Connected.
I've got to ask, how is Crossplay coming along, as well as other social elements we're looking to add into the game this year?
Journey last year in 23 was going to be too much again to do in a single cycle. So we said, okay, this is going to be a multi-cycle feature again, and that was just a reality. So last year we focused on, let's at least get the foundation in place, which is allowing people to have cross-platform matchmaking. So you weren't able to team up, but at least you could finally compete. And then for 24, it was like, let's complete the circle. So for 24, we're happy that we're actually going to be bringing true crossplay into World of Chell. So finally, you're going to be able to, if you're on Sony and I'm on Microsoft, we're going to finally be able to link up, be on the same team, and close that circle, delivering that expectation. So I'm happy that we've been able to do that for this year.
Crossplay is going to be a multi-year strategy approach, is the way they're talking about it. He talks about it in a way that's like, we're going to complete the circle, and we're finally going to get it. And then he says, into World of Chell. When I hear that, I've watched that a few times now, that segment of the interview. By what he's saying, we'll find out at the reveal, hopefully. True crossplay will only be applicable in World of Chell. So that's just one thing to know. I don't know if this is going to be actually the case for the front cover of NHL 24, but it looks like it's confirmed for me seeing this. When you look at this screen here, EA Social, okay, where you can invite players from another console. If you look right there on that right side of the screen, you can see NHL 24 navigating Minas and what is on the front cover of NHL 24 and that logo there, Connor Bedard. So I'm going to go ahead and assume right now that Connor Bedard will be on the front cover of NHL 24.
Obviously, when you think NHL, gameplay has been like the hallmark of the series for a very long time. What's coming down the pipeline for gameplay this year and even into the future?
Gameplay is the one thing that actually waterfalls across every single mode in the game. So it is a big focus. For 24, it's been one of the biggest focuses in the short time that I've actually been here. We've come up with a ton of new gameplay changes this year that change the game from the opening face-off forward. We've revamped a lot of the different meta systems in the game. You're going to feel differences in terms of how you attack, how you defend, the tactics that go into that. Even how you pass and hit is going to be new and fresh, and I think people are really going to enjoy what's actually there.
So I will say, watching just that little bit of footage there, the one thing that it drives me crazy about NHL 23 and the past NHL games is just natural contact. When you're skating by a player, when you're skating into a player, there's just no contact unless it is initiated by a hit, and hits aren't always successful. You can go for a hit and completely miss a player, or you can go for a hit, be near the person, and you'll bounce right off of your opponent.
Won't be the only focus. The goal every year is to ensure that our gameplay has a fresh take, that it feels new, that it feels exciting, and so we're going to continue to make this a massive focus going forward, and we've got some places we're going in the years ahead.
Closes out the video breakdown of what we can see, what we can potentially expect to see in the reveal trailer on Wednesday, August 16th. Let me know in the comments below if you are optimistic like myself, if you were disappointed. I'll tell you right now, I am disappointed about the crossplay aspect of NHL 24 because I can already kind of picture what it's going to be like. But at the same time, I'm just always optimistic that we're going to see something within the gameplay that's going to keep me excited and playing this game all year. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one.